Yeah, look, I think all credit has to go to Port Adelaide. I think they've been under the pump, and Matthew Primus has been under the pump a lot, and I think the way they played the game was excellent. They came out, won the contested footy early, strong around the football. But some of the tactical things they were doing, our players weren't adjusting to, so it took us some time to change in the box. And I think that not only the way they got their players going, but tactically, I think he coached really well today and set them on a really good way. And fortunately for us, we were able to kick 7 goals really quickly into the game. But for the majority of the game, they were the better team.
Is it fair to say that a second and third quarter like that in 2 weeks' time would be pretty much fatal?
I think a whole game like that would be fatal. I think that we didn't adapt to the way they played against us well enough and weren't able to dictate on our own terms. So we wouldn't want to play like that again. But I think just not worrying about the next 2 weeks. But all credit should go to Matty Primus and Port Adelaide. They've copped a lot and they should get a bit of respect for that game.
Is there a little bit of element of all the pressure being off from the night before when North Melbourne lost? Sort of subliminally with the players, relaxing a little?
Look, I'm not sure. You don't know. You'd love a game to go exactly the way you want it to go every time, but very rarely do you get the game going the way you want. And fortunately for us at the end, we're able to steal a victory. But, whether the players subliminally weren't on or not, who knows?
Does the result mask any concerns of yours, do you think, James? I mean, in fact, the result in the end was positive, but, the match itself, probably the process wasn't necessarily that positive, was it?
No, it wasn't, but I think you've got to look at more than just one game of football. I think you've got to look at our season in its entirety rather than the last 2.5 hours, because it's been some really good football played, and yes, the side we played against played better than us for the majority of the game tonight. But all in all, with the way the season's gone from where we've come from, I think you've got to look positively on it. There's things we want to work on, keep working on, and we'll have to work on over the next 2 weeks to be competitive against whoever we're going to play. But overall, we're reasonably happy.
How do you approach the week off?
We'll recover in the same way we have the last sort of 23 weeks. We'll give the guys a couple of days off in the middle of the week, and then we'll come in and start training. So, we'll probably prepare for the game, whether it's likely to be a Saturday or a Sunday game, from about Thursday, Friday of this week onwards.
Would you say that was not ideal, considering it wasn't the most convincing win, and you really can only watch on?
I think it's absolutely perfect. I think our boys are tired. I think they've had a massive year, and I think that a week off will do them a lot of good. It will give us a chance to rest some guys who need some rest and have some little niggling injuries. We thought at the start of the year it was going to be real positive for us if we could make the finals to have that week off, and at the moment I still think that. In 2 weeks' time I might not, but at the moment I think it's a really good thing for our players that they get a bit of the pressure taken off them for a week where they can really recover well.
Was that an opportunity taken today with Dustin Fletcher, the same reason the pressure was off his 2-week break?
Yeah, Fletcher's just got a slight ankle injury that will be better off after 2 weeks' break than after 1 week's break. So, Fletch probably could have just played this week, but we decided to give him a rest and make sure his ankle was perfect coming to the final.
How do you feel generally you play sort of heading towards the finals? I imagine you going sort of outsiders to win a final. What do you feel you can sort of do in the finals?
Oh, we're excited. We're excited about being there, but I think I don't think we're there as outsiders or to make up the numbers. I think if the way our season's gone, the sides we've beaten, the sides we've played, we've beaten 2 in the top 4. We've drawn with Carlton. So out of the top 5, either beaten 2 or drawn with 1. We've won more games than we've won in probably 8 years at the footy club. So there's a lot of positives that we'll take into the first week of the finals, and the fact that we've run very good sides, either beaten them or been with them late in games, is a real positive.
Did Collier do enough to get himself a spot in the finals? He played really well when he came on.
Yeah, I think Trevor's terrific. A guy who's missed 3 weeks of football to come in and play like that as a sub, he made a massive difference to our team. The run he had, the spark he had, used the ball really well. So you'd like to think he's a very good chance, but we'll have to assess everyone over the next week or two and see where they are with their fitness and injuries. And I've learnt very quickly in this game that you can't talk about anyone next week because anything could happen.
And Carlisle up forward?
Yeah, I think Jake was really good. I think kicked 2 early goals, and when we decided to sub Hooksy off, we needed an extra tall back there, so we moved him back. But I thought Jake, when he's 6 games he's played this year, 6 or 7, has been excellent at both ends of the ground.
Does the fact you're able to run over the top of them indicate a little bit physical preparation the guys have had, and that they're able to run out of 4 quarters where they definitely look to be flagging there in the last 15 minutes?
Yeah, I think physical preparation week to week, there's that base fitness you get over the year, but there's also what sort of game you came off the week before, how much break you had. They had a 7-day break, we had an 8-day break, and they probably did a lot more running early on in the game to get that lead than we did, and our boys needed to run more, obviously, but the preparation's been okay. Thanks, guys.